So, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Y'all bear with me, and niggas trying to fix something to eat for me and my son. So, um, what's good, everybody? I got a video that I wanted to shoot. I've been wanting to shoot this for some time now, but I just never really got around to doing it. But yesterday, the conversation I was having on Facebook really prompted me to shoot this video. And it's not necessarily about the subject that the conversation was about, but that's just my point. This video right here is predominantly for the ladies. See, men and women have different ways of handling situations, you know what I'm saying? When a man is wrong, he just don't want to talk about the situation. Ladies, you having these conversations, when you're having a conversation with your man, or when you're having, any type of conversation or debate, can we, at some point, stick to the conversation? That's all I'm asking. That's all that I'm asking. Can we stick to the conversation at hand and not talk about something that has nothing to do with the conversation that we're actually having? I know that might seem hard, but see, what happens is we get into these conversations with y'all, whether it be on social media or conversations that we have with, our other halves. And rather than a woman admitting that the other party is right, they've changed the narrative to some shit that has nothing to do. I'll give you the example that prompted me to do this video, to actually go ahead and do this video. Yesterday there was a question my homegirl from Washington State asked a question on Facebook, or she made a statement. She said that basically that black men don't give black women the same respect that they give white women when they're in a relationship. Now, a lot of guys, posted the dead symbol and memes and gifs and stuff, but the ones who actually said words, basically, one of the people was basically saying that telling women the reason why we talk down on them, which is, if you go on your Facebook feed and you have a lot of female black friends, they're on Facebook destroying us every day. So, I've said over the last couple of videos that I did that, being on social media has really exposed what women actually really think about us, because attention is like a drug, or it's like like alcohol. You know how they say you can't lie when you're on alcohol, and that you always tell the truth when you're on alcohol? That's what attention does. That's what, happens on Facebook and stuff. What happens is this chick decided that she would post something. Decided that she would post a comment. Now, what happens in most of these cases is either you change the narrative, like we having a conversation about what we're talking about, which is, the respect and relationship thing. And somehow she gets on the subject of black men need to vote and organize, go out and vote and organize and protest. Like we do. Like, that's what she said, like women do. you voting and protesting for? She started talking about something about oppressors or something like that. Something about the same energy that we come at women with, we don't have when we faced by our oppressors. Um, I don't even like using that word anymore. We're not oppressed no more. You know what we are? We're fooled. We're lost. That's what we are. Because anytime, I mean, if I was going into that, our so-called oppressors are using us to oppress each other. But I digress. I don't even like using that word, and I'm not even going to get into that subject. But she started talking about our oppressors, and I was like, yo, how did we even get here? So the next thing that a woman resorts to doing is, okay, that was the changing of the narrative. The next thing she resorts to doing is calling me names. And the next thing she said was, if you don't like what I'm talking about, get off my thread. First of all, this is a public conversation on someone else's post. So that's the second thing that women do. They shut down. The next thing she resorted to was what? I've been posting this on my regular Facebook, and people sit there and this is just a regular conversation. Believe it or not, it happens at home too. The next thing she resorts to is calling me names. Calling me names. I'm a dumb black man and all of this stuff. Mind you, come to find out, and come to find out this woman is married to a white man. I kind of think you have no reason to even be speaking on this subject, because this is about black men and black women and white women. This has nothing to do with, nobody mentioned a white man. So what, Sister Soldier? What are you talking about right now? You have no idea, and I'm not knocking what the fuck you got going on. That's not what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? You love who you love, and you're free to do that. But the conversation is not about you or anything you've experienced recently. So kick rocks. You can't tell me, people on your page don't. I said look down your timeline. I guarantee that you will see examples of black women beating us down as men. And she says that she doesn't have negativity like that. But then you proceed to show that same negativity to me. So, to break it down real quick, before I get off this video, let's break it down. Changing the narrative to some shit that has nothing to do with the conversation. These are the things that women do. You make it hard for us to understand you by doing these three things. Changing the narrative to some stuff that has nothing to do with the conversation. Changing the narrative to some stuff that has zero to do with the conversation. Then you resort to shutting down, don't want to talk no more, after you feel like you've gotten your point across. And then you resort to name calling, which basically I don't really want to deal with you after that. Like, I don't really want to talk to you after that. But then, once we shut down in these relationships and stuff like that, once we shut down, then we start doing all the shit that y'all complaining about. These are the things that happen first, generally, in relationships. The person who's talking to you cares what you think. So what actually happens first is all of these things, and then it leads to him shutting down and not caring as much about the relationship. Because I'm in a relationship where I can't even talk to the person that I'm with and try to make things right. When someone posts something like that, a friend of mine, or even when I post my stuff on Facebook, or when I post these videos, the thing about it is, I'm willing to have a conversation. I'm willing to talk. I'm willing, and the reason why I'm willing to talk is because I'm willing to learn. You know what I'm saying? I want to learn where women are coming from too. But I also, that don't mean I'm just gonna sit there and allow you to have your free for all and say nothing. Like, I want you to know what we see and what we understand as well. Otherwise, if I'm not doing that and you're not allowing me to do that, then your mind is closed. And we found a real problem. But that's all I got, man. Y'all have a good day. Show off.